Hey guys, what's up? This is Matthew Davis, me once again. Welcome back to the movie review, aka After I Saw This Time. It is going to be on The Running Man. This movie is based on Stephen King's novel, and a lot of people are going to kind of compare it to the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that came out in 1980, whatever, which is a movie that I didn't know existed until this movie came out. Yeah, I know, I'm living under a rock, but and I've seen so many Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, but this isn't about that. Like I mentioned before, this is based mostly around Stephen King's novel, and Edgar Wright wanted to make this adaptation as faithful to that story as best as he possibly could. And in this movie, we focus on a man named Ben Richards, played by Glenn Powell, as he plays as a contestant in The Running Man, where contestants known as runners must survive 30 days while being hunted by professional assassins, with every move broadcast to a bloodthirsty public, and each day bringing in a bigger cash reward. He's desperate to save his sick daughter, as he is convicted by the show's charming but ruthless producer, played by Josh Brolin, to enter the game as a last resort. But Ben's defiance, instincts, and grit turn him into an unexpected fan favorite and a threat to the entire system. As ratings skyrocket, so does the danger, and Ben must outwit not just the hunters, but a nation addicted to watching him fall. Anything you put Edgar Wright on, I am all on board. I loved every single movie he has made, so I definitely had hope. From, his original films to his adaptation of Scott Pilgrim, I was all around on board with this one. And it's gonna break my heart to say this, but I liked the movie. I know you're thinking, oh, you like the movie? Yeah, but here's the thing. I didn't love it. And like I mentioned before, I loved every single one of his movies. I thought he was on a great streak, and even though not everybody was a fan of Last Night in Soho, I thought that movie was excellent. So it kind of hurts knowing the fact that this movie was just fine. But I get it. When you're adapting something that went from a book to a full feature adaptation, it can be hard stuff, trying to get everything as right as you possibly could. Now, I will say, in terms of this being an Edgar Wright film, the style is definitely there. It looks absolutely stellar in terms of it taking place in the near future, with cars going on autopilot and whatnot. It was really cool to see when it came to the set designs. And hey, everybody's good in the movie. Glenn Powell, he definitely kicks a lot of ass in the movie from time to time, even though there isn't as much intenseness to the action as I was hoping for. Some action sequences in terms of violence only happened during TV, like when it came to showing off people getting hurt or whatever in TV clips. That's not to say there isn't action in the outside world. There is this really entertaining one with Michael Cera laying traps in the house. Yeah, that was cool to see. Also, Josh Brolin, he's solid enough in his supporting role as the antagonist, as well as the concept alone in terms of this being like a deadly game show, which it pretty much is. I just feel like when watching the movie, there really isn't too much to write home about when it comes to its concept, or in terms of what the movie has to offer in terms of like surprises and memorable moments. I just felt like it was kind of missing here, especially when it comes to the pace. Because when it comes to Edgar Wright's films, his movies are quick. Like, they go by super fast. But because this movie is longer than most of his other films, the movie's build-up just doesn't really feel like it has that same impact or satisfaction as I was hoping for. That's not to say that the movie's boring. I just feel like, of course, it has to set up in the way where, we have to get to the game show. And when it comes to, his interactions with other characters, some trying to hunt him down while also some trying to help him, I just feel like there just are times where the movie could have had a lot more. But it just goes from, going from one area to the next, in order to get out alive. But I really do like the fact that, it seems basic enough for what the film is going for. And later on, it changes in a way I wasn't expecting, because I never read the book and don't know the full context behind the book. But what I do know is that when it comes to Edgar Wright's films, he does bring in his direction in a way that, I feel like feels unique and stylish. So it really breaks my heart knowing the fact that, the effort that, he's known for, it's there, just not executed in the way that I was hoping for. But again, when you're adapting into a book, a book into a movie, it can definitely be challenging. But hey, we've had some amazing book adaptations. Some of the best movies of all time are book adaptations or book to film adaptations. You know what I mean. But some people say that the movie is faithful to the book, but for someone who hasn't read the book, I can't really say. All that I can say is that I didn't think this was a bad film, just one that I was kind of let down by. But hey, the movie still was entertaining enough, even if the pacing isn't as well as I was hoping for it to be. But I like the motivation it was going for. It definitely does feel entertaining when it does get to the action and when it goes to what the concept is going for. It just feels like, there was just some parts of the movie that felt a little bit missing when it comes to Edgar Wright's direction. But nonetheless, I still can say that I enjoyed walking to this one, but I feel like it would have been a lot better if, this movie made me just want to run over there. It just depends what you want. I definitely want more, but hey, I can still say I still liked it. It still hurts to say that. I am a little bit nervous about the future of his career because, again, Last Night in Soho wasn't loved by everybody, but I really enjoyed it. But yeah, this was definitely a step down, and if I had to pick my least favorite Edgar Wright film, it would definitely be this one. Again, not a bad film. I just feel like there was a lot more that could have been handled into this movie to make it like a fully memorable film. But hey, nonetheless, we'll just see what happens later on in the future. I did see the movie in IMAX. There was quite a bit of people. Yes, there were some annoying people talking throughout the movie, so I had to walk around. But it's gotten to the point where that's just going to be a normal thing, unfortunately. But it's not going to stop me from wanting to go back to the theater. But let me know. Did you enjoy the film? Were you disappointed? Did you prefer the Arnold Schwarzenegger one? I'll probably watch it one day. Just, yeah, I got like a million other movies to see, though. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and maybe subscribe for more. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or maybe Blue Sky. Links are in the description. And I'll see you guys later. Word out.